I'll mention the word Ebola, and you'll probably hear from someone who is worried about getting it.
There is a growing concern that people are thinking too much about it. News 4's Rich Newberg has that part of our story tonight. Rich?
John and Jackie, some of the experts who observe social trends and the way people behave are warning us tonight that too much worry about Ebola could be affecting our health.
I'll come up over the top.
Ebola. It's the subject dominating the news and sometimes dominating our everyday thoughts.
I'm a mother. I'm scared to death.
I think they got to stop those people from coming over here, though. You know, you don't need to put that embargo on. You can't have these people coming from West Africa. You don't know what they got.
I think about it often. I think about what it can do to people and what it can do to an entire city.
UB psychology professor Dr. Larry Hawk suggests people selectively seek out information and look for answers based on scientific fact.
It's a little hard sometimes to sift through what information is reasonable and what's not, and I think that's where some of us end up going down a path where the stress and anxiety and fear just ramps up and up.
Even a month before the first case of Ebola was diagnosed in the U.S., Harvard released a study that showed Americans were jittery about the disease. 39% of those surveyed believed Ebola would come to the U.S. 26% said they were concerned that they or their families would be exposed to the virus.
Public panic and fear is just all over the place.
Dr. Janet Young, a risk communications scholar at UB, will conduct a new national survey to see if fears have gotten worse and how people are getting their information.
Explain why people are so afraid or so concerned about this Ebola outbreak, even though we know it's not something that's easily transmittable.
In a preliminary study, Dr. Young found that UB undergraduate students who had fact-based knowledge were less afraid.
I'm not afraid of it. I know it's not going to happen to me. I know very few people in the United States have gotten it, so I don't think it's such a big part of my everyday life.
Dr. Young told me it only took a few weeks for the National Science Foundation to accept her request for a grant, and 1,000 Americans will be surveyed. Reporting live, Rich Newberg, News 4 at 6.